Welcome everyone to the Merry Makers Christmas Craft Collab hosted by Debbie, and a ton of us are joining in for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be doing a ton of Christmas crafts. We've got 4 weeks of crafty inspiration to get you set up for the holiday season. We'll go live at 1 p.m. Eastern. Welcome everyone, this is Letty. I have hashtag MerryMakersCraftyCollab. It's a crafty collab video. This is week number 2. We have tags, artist trading cards, embellishments, and ornaments that we'll be sharing today. Welcome back everyone. So I'm joining in on the hashtag MerryMakersCraftyCollab. This is a collab hosted by Debbie over at Project 39 Mini Albums. There are a ton of collab participants and a playlist. I'm going to list everybody down in the description box below. This is week number 2 of our crafty collab. We're making tags, artist trading cards, embellishments, and ornaments. I'm bringing the Mittens and Mistletoe by Crate Paper collection one more time this week. I had some scraps. I also had this one sheet that had a bunch of cut apart words, and I went ahead and cut down about half of the sheet, so about 6 inches worth, and I got a ton of little words and phrases here, or what I had left over from the half sheet that I cut down. I thought these would be perfect to put on the tags and things, and so I did use up most of the scraps here. I have some just A2 size mats that are ready to go, and then I did have a few more embellishments that I had purchased when I purchased this collection. I do still have also a few extra scraps, but I tried to use as many of the scraps that I could to make these projects for the tags today. Now I did, because the paper is a little thinner, I brought in some of these like cardboard backing from my paper pads that I've smashed recently, and so this paper is just a little too thin to make, at least in my opinion, to make a full-on tag. So I wanted it a little more sturdy, so I cut down the paper and glued it to these like cardboard covers. And so I cut them down, cleared off all the excess like tape and glue and everything that were on them, and they're a little shorter than 3x6, but that's okay. And so that's the size that I made these tags. They're pretty large tags. So let me move this out of the way. Again, this was Mittens and Mistletoe by Crate Paper. So I made 3 different projects today. I had some large tags, I had some small tags, and then some ornaments. So let me show you these 3 projects real quick, and we'll do a full recap at the end. So this is the first one. These are my little 3x6 tags, or they're slightly under 3x6. I had put those little words and phrases on them. I did add a eyelet, and you see here the white backing on each of them. I may come back and add some to from labels. I've given away a free to from digital on my channel before. I'll link it down below, but I think I'm going to cut some of those up and put it on the back. I did punch out that tree, that Christmas tree. I had like a large punch in my stash, punched it out of some of the scraps that I had, popped it up with some foam dimensional tape. Again, added that little eyelet, added some twine. It's really large. You can see here, it's about 3x6. So I made a ton of them. Again, I'll do a full recap in just a second. I'm going to show you all 3 projects real quick, and then I'll show you what each of these tags look like. I also had some little scraps, and so I turned, instead of making one final tag, I went ahead and cut it down into these little bitty tags, and these are about 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches maybe, but I think they were a great little size. You could still put a little to from on the back, but I think they were cute because they were perfect to really showcase those little words, the words and phrases that came in that cut apart. So I made 6 of those. I'll show you those in a second. And then I also made 3 layered ornaments. And so I've done this before on my channel. I just layered up some different scallop circles and circle shapes, and I do pop up some foam dimensional between each layer. And then I added an embellishment at the very top. And so I punched a hole, added some little elastic according to hang these on the tree. And then that basically is my little ornament. And so I used the ephemera pieces that came with this collection. I had purchased them separately, and I went ahead and just added some, popped up on foam dimensional tape just to give a lot of bulk to these little ornaments and make them stand out on the tree. And I layered them on these 3. So those were the 3 that I made, and I only made 3 because that's how many gold scallop circles I had in my stash ready to go. I was trying to, again, use up my stash. So for these are the little ornament or little tags that I made. Again, they're about 3/4 of an inch. They're just shy of an inch by about 3 inches long. And I did add a little scrap right there under where the eyelet is at. So you can see different pattern right there at the end. And then I added some little eyelets in a couple of different little colors, some green colors and teal colors. And you can see there, I'm trying to show you where I added a different piece of paper there. And then I added, of course, some of that same twine that I used on the larger tags. I think that pink and gold just looked really great with this collection, since there were a lot of pink in this collection. Then these were the larger tags that I made. Again, these are about 3x6. They're very sturdy. By using those those cardboard covers from my paper pads. Just as a heads up, you definitely can reuse and recycle those. They're great because they were completely blank on the back. And so I was able to get a fully white back without having to add some of my cardstock, my like brand new cardstock to like bulk up these tags. So I think that was perfect, great use of the stash that I already had. And I tend to save those just in case I have a project like this that would work. I really like those little phrases and things. I really think those make those tags. And then of course those little trees that I popped up. So those are my larger tags, my smaller tags. I made 6 of those, and then 3 ornaments, just some layered ornaments that I also made. And that was again for week 2 of our collab. We made tags, ATCs, embellishments, and ornaments. That was also using up the Mittens and Mistletoe collection by Crate Paper. I especially wanted to try to use up some of those words and phrases on my tags, and I think they turned out pretty cute. So again, that was hashtag MerryMakersCraftyCollab. We do have a playlist down below so you can get all of the inspiration. Thanks for visiting, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this collab that we have so far. We have another 2 weeks. Happy crafting.